From the Yorktown lanes in Parma Heights, welcome to week number 7 of the 1991 10-Pin Challenge here on Channel 3. Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Donovan. Welcome to 10-Pin Challenge. And if you've been following week to week with us every Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock, we are now halfway through our second round. We have 4 more teams going today. 2 matches that will give us 2 more teams to move on to the quarterfinal round of the 10-Pin Challenge tournament. We have had superb bowling so far and expect more of the same today. And to help me call all the action, here's Ted Malicki.
Thank you, Jimmy. As usual, it is a pleasure to be here.
Really, we have had some great bowling today. We'll see our defending champions, the Rocheks, looking for their 7th win already in 10-Pin Challenge, going back to last year and 1 win so far this year.
That's right. In 2 years, they are undefeated, and they have a little extra added attraction here, a newborn baby to help them on.
Let's see if that little extra boost gets them going as we get set for 2 great matches today. Here are the teams now for match number 1 on today's show. Representing the Mayhalls 20 lanes in Lakewood are defending champions Vicki and Ken Rochek. The Rocheks have a 34-pin handicap. They face Shirley and John Ingham from the Ambassador Bedford lanes, and the Inghams have a 37-pin team handicap. Well, can the Rocheks be stopped? That's the question today. They rolled a 213 in their opening round victory. And we start with them, Vicki Rochek. Bowling average 142. Just never seems to put her team in trouble.
That's right. She hits that head pin, leaves 1 pin standing, and Ken Rochek is an excellent spare shooter, so they do well that way. See, there goes the jinx that I put on him. She missed the head pin that time to the right.
In warm-ups, Ken was having, well, I would describe them as some problems, especially for him, making spares. Let's see what he does here.
Ken crosses over. He covers these spares just like the book says, with no problem whatsoever.
All right, Shirley Ingham, a bowling average of 150. I think you'll be surprised at how powerfully she throws the ball, because she's not that big a woman.
She does a good job of it. Solid in the pocket, leaving a 10-pin on our 10-pin challenge here.
John Ingham. The Inghams are from Maple Heights.
You see John move left on the lane to make the spare.
John making sure now, knowing certainly don't want to go open here. 10-pin stand. Slides by.
He seemed to have a little trouble sliding on the approach. A little sticking there, maybe. That could have caused him to pull the ball.
Back we go to Shirley Ingham now. She bowls 7 times a month.
Shirley Ingham hitting it in the pocket again, this time throwing the strike.
I mean, doesn't she throw a great strike ball?
She throws it great. Right down the lanes, ball rolls up to the pocket.
Now to the Rocheks. 2nd frame, spare up in the 1st frame for them. Vicki Rochek. On that head pin, breaks up a split. 7-pin went down.
May have heard somebody in the audience yell cross, meaning get over to the Brooklyn side, but he didn't. But she got a break.
6-pin stance. Split spell doom. 10-pin challenge.
Ken Rochek making that spare. He's an excellent spare shooter. He doesn't really hook the ball a whole lot, and just makes everything that his mother leaves.
A pair of spares for our defending champs, the Rocheks. 6-0 on 10-pin challenge. 5 wins last year, 1 already this year. 5-pin stands.
Vicki putting it in the pocket, leaving that 5-pin. She's throwing a 13-pound ball, so she just doesn't have that drive it needs to get to that 5-pin. The ball deflects. But it's a very good spare to leave, if you're going to leave one.
This is for their 3rd spare in a row. This is how they really carved their way to the title last year.
You know, they're sort of like a good NFL team. They just don't make mistakes.
They don't, yeah, they don't beat themselves.
Exactly right.
And they force you to make mistakes. So the Rocheks have 3 spares in a row. And now the Ingham's back up. And this is John. His wife Shirley threw a great strike in the 2nd frame. 3rd frame. 2 in a row.
Throwing the Brooklyn ball, getting a strike. The 9-pin falling last, but it fell. And that's all that really counts.
We'll be back with a great match. The conclusion of it here on 10-Pin Challenge right after this.
10-Pin Challenge is sponsored in part by Nuremberg Pleven, by Speedy Muffler King. Visit your local Speedy for all your undercar repair needs. And by Thistledown, racing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. First race, 1:30 p.m.
Look, just drop it. So it wasn't my fault, but it's my problem.
Compensation for negligence is simple justice.
No one wanted this to happen. Someone made a mistake. I'm not looking to make money off it.
Representing the victim, Nuremberg Pleven.
I've worked all my life. Now I can't. Who's going to pay a guy that can't work?
Nuremberg Pleven has represented over 50,000 personal injury victims.
Why am I paying for all this? Maybe I should call someone.
Attorneys at law since 1929.
What you want, baby, we got it.
My dad taught me everything I know about cars. He only got one thing wrong. He never told me to bring my car to Speedy for brakes.
I always went some other place.
These guys are real pros. I get quality parts and a lifetime guarantee for shoes and pads.
I always went some other place.
Dad, do you think you get expert work like this for so little at some other place?
What other place?
R-E-S-P-E-C-T, that's what Speedy means to me.
Chasing you, my lady luck. Won't you smile on me today? Yeah. Won't you lift me up? The finish line's a shout away. Hey, hey. The fastest game in town is here at Thistledown. Chasing lady luck. Yeah.
All bowlers appearing on 10-Pin Challenge receive prizes from Speedy Muffler King. Come to Speedy for mufflers, brakes, or shocks and get the respect you deserve.
Ted, this has all the makings of a great match. The Rocheks doing what they do best, making spares, and the Inghams really making some big shots.
Just seems like nobody's cracking here. They're all focused on winning this match.
The Inghams, right now, giving our defending champs everything they can handle and even more. Now to go 2 strikes in a row.
John Ingham on the booklet for a strike. That's a double. Jimmy, what we have here now is a 5-frame match. They're even through the first 5 frames, basically, so it's just the last 5 frames. That makes a lot more pressure.
First time Ken's been throwing a strike ball.
Ken Rochek tries to shake him out of there, leaves the 5-pin.
For the first time now, conversely, Vicky Rochek will throw, trying to connect on a spare, and she will try and throw a strike ball right into the pocket, nail that 5-pin. An opening now would be really devastating.
All she has to do is just think about what she's doing, concentrate.
Good ball.
And
Good
she
ball.
did. Makes the spare.
Coming up, we'll go to the bowling clinic with Ted Malicki right after this match. At the conclusion of the match today, Ted's topic, 10-pin adjustment. Now, trying to knock down all 10 right here, Ken Rochek, 7th frame.
There's that wall shot he was looking for. Rattles him up, gets the strike.
And the high five from his mom. The Rocheks sitting at 151 through 6. The Inghams come back up. This is Shirley, 7th frame. They throw strikes in the 5th and 6th, so they go for the turkey here.
Great opportunity. Leaves it high in the head pin.
The 4-7 stand on the left side now for John Ingham. I think maybe the big shot of the match for the Ingham so far, despite the strikes, was the 4-pin spare that he picked up in the 4th frame.
Exactly right. They kept him in the match by making that spare, and it's a must. You just have to do it if you want to stay in.
Every shot's a must right now in a real tight match. Oh,
John Ingham,
critical miss.
Getting over the top of that ball. A little too careful. Didn't lift the ball. If it had lifted the ball, it would have hooked a little bit more, and it'd have made that spare.
But remember, they just went open in the 7th frame. Shirley Ingham up 8th frame. They're at 166 through 7. Why didn't that 10 go down?
Trying to cave him in. Well, the pin didn't hit it. That's not the ideal way to throw a strike ball, but she could have had it if she got a break.
Now on the left side, on the last frame, John missed a 4-7. Now he goes after a singleton, a 10-pin.
Critical spare here. It's too late in the game to be giving anything away.
He's right on.
Great job. Great job. He was thinking about that last one he missed, and he made sure this time.
Now, Vicky Rochek will step up. Our defending champion, 6-0 on 10-pin challenge. 8th frame, being tested, down by 7 pins, but they're working on a strike.
Chance to take a commanding lead. Ooh, solid, and leaving a 4-pin. An excellent shot. Solid 4-pin.
Now they trail, and yet they have not had an opening in the match. They've been clean all throughout the match. Now Vicky will watch. His son Ken will stand up and do what he has done so well in their tournament appearances. Shoot spares.
He got a little careless on that one. He still made it, but he's going to have to think about it next time.
Now it has swung. The Rocheks lead by 5 in the match at 171-166, 9th frame. The foundation frame.
Wow, tough spare. Ball goes to the right.
What does he do here, Ted?
He's got to throw a Brooklyn ball. He made this basically the same spare in the first frame, and he'll just have to do it again. So it's nothing new to him on these lane conditions. He'll know where to play. All he has to do is execute.
You're at 187 through 8. 9th frame. 4 pins standing, Ken Rochek.
Oh, he didn't get over enough.
The 4-pin remains standing.
Didn't get over enough. Too much on the head pin. Nothing got to the 4-pin to make the spare.
So in the foundation frame, the 9th frame, they go open. For their only time of the match, they're at 196. And now the Inghams working on a spare. 9th frame, Shirley Ingham up. Great match.
Big ball. Ooh,
Baby split.
Hits the head pin, rattles him around, leaves the 5 and the 6. This is a real test for John Ingham here. He's going to have to put the ball between the 2 pins to make this spare.
But you must put that thing right in the middle there, in between those 2 things standing down at the edge of lane 38.
And you only have about a ½ inch on each side to do this. And over 60 feet, that's a lot.
What a shot.
What a great shot he made on there, making that spare, keeping them in the lead.
In one of the best matches I think we've ever had on 10-pin challenge, the Inghams have a possibility of a 234 game going to the 10th frame thanks to a clutch 5-6 make of a split by John Ingham. Now Shirley.
The 10th frame. Count comes into play here, Jimmy. They lost 3 pins in count. That's the pins that you leave standing. You need to make this spare.
They lead by 5 pins. 201-196 after 9. They're in the 10th frame. John Ingham to try and come up with another tricky spare.
Being put to the test.
Yes!
Great shot. What a great clutch shot. Clutch performance by John Ingham. They're making 2 big spares when they needed them most. 1
ball remaining for them. If she knocks them all down, they'll be in at 221. The Rocheks could still end at 226.
That's right. A good fill on this ball forces the Rocheks to throw a double to move on.
Really, it hasn't been one bowler for either team. It's been both partners. So the defending champions are right up against the wall right now. The Ingham, Shirley and John are in at 221. Vicky and Ken Rochek, 10th frame. Here we go. They trail in the match by 5.
Vicky Rochek shaking the pins, leaving the 5-10. Unfortunately, that's not enough. They needed a strike to stay into the match.
Vicky really looked like she had that ball there. Now the 5-10 for Ken Rochek. Missed it, got the 5, and went on backside of the 10. And the Rocheks have been defeated. Shirley and John Ingham have knocked our defending champions out. 221-205. What a match. We'll settle down right now. Before we send you to the second match of the day, we take a minute and visit the bowling clinic with Ted.
Today on the bowling clinic, we are at Mahall's Lanes in Lakewood, Ohio. Suppose you just threw the ball as good as you can, and bam, you leave a solid 10-pin. Well, now what do? Well, you have to make an adjustment. And you wonder what kind of adjustment it is, because you just threw the ball very good. Well, it's simple. You make a 1-and-1 right. You move your feet 1 board to the right, and you move your target. It's very important. You must move your target 1 board to the right. What this does is changes the angle that the ball enters the pocket ever so slightly, to give you less deflection and carries out that 10 pin. Join us again next week with another tip on the Bowling Clinic.
Well, after a great first match, boy, are you ready for match number 2. Here are the teams as they're ready. Representing the Solon Bowling Center is the team of Pat Conaway and Bill Fiedler, who have a 22-pin handicap. They face Terry and Chuck Stastny from the Great Oaks Lanes in Wadsworth. The Stastnys have a 31-pin handicap. Another spot in the quarterfinals has been taken. Another one will be taken at the conclusion of this match. And we'll begin with Terry Stastny. 148 bowling average. Now, the Stastnys, in effect, because of the handicap, are getting 9 pins in the match over what Conaway and Fiedler.
And we've seen what 9 pins can do. You can win an awful lot of matches with 9 extra pins.
Terry Stastny.
Terry Stastny throwing it left, leaving a difficult spare. Boy, this isn't the way you want to start with difficult spares. The way we've seen the last match here.
Chuck Stastny. The Stastnys are from Hinckley. He bowls 4 times a week. Boy, and he was warming up early today.
We put to the test. Right there.
Open right away, first frame. Well, if you are going to go open early, and then...
Well, what that makes it an even game from here on in.
Right, get into your game. Pat Conaway is a real 10-pin challenge veteran. This is her 3rd year in a row making it to the television field.
Solid pocket strike to start the match for Pat Conaway.
But I'll tell you what, she has always been one of the most impressive women bowlers that we've had on the show.
She has an excellent game, throws the ball real well. Her timing is excellent. She's a very, very good bowler.
Bill Fiedler, the first time he's been teamed with Pat Conaway. Left-hander. Dropped it. Didn't he drop that? Sounded
well,
like
actually, he
didn't.
didn't.
That or it sounded like someone broke a window here.
He didn't drop it. He got the ball. He lofts the ball out on the lanes. He eliminates the first 5 feet of the lanes, and sometimes that's good if the lanes are hooking. But if there's oil on the lanes, that can get you in trouble.
Pat Conaway now with a spare lead. Chopped 1 pin off. Got the 5.
Pat was a little surprised on that. That ball hooked more than she expected it to, so she'll have to put that in her memory banks and bring it out again if she gets another spare on that side.
Now the Stastnys trying to get in the mark department. 2nd frame. Terry, they went open in the 1st. Oh, dearie.
Terry Stastny through the nose, leaving a big split. Now, this is not an impossible split. This is a 6-7-10.
Have you ever made this?
Yes, I have.
And do you have pictures to verify it?
Yeah, I have pictures and glossy photos and autographs and everything to verify it. You slide the 6 pin. You hit it to the right, real thin, and slide the 6 into the 7. And the ball takes out the 10.
All right, Chuck Stastny. Well, the bad part about that is that you end up with a 7 frame.
That's right. You lose some count on that. You got to get at least 2 pins so you don't lose the pin count. Because at the end of the game, that comes into play.
We'll be back to wrap up this match on 10 Pin Challenge right after this.
Chasing you, my lady luck. Won't you smile on me today? Yeah. Won't you lift me up? The finish line's a shout away. Yeah. Fastest game in town. Hear that thistle down. Chasing lady luck. Yeah.
What you want, baby, we got it.
My dad taught me everything I know about cars. He only got one thing wrong. He never told me to bring my car to Speedy for brakes.
I always went some other place.
These guys are real pros. I get quality parts and a lifetime guarantee for shoes and pads.
I always went some other place.
Dad, do you think you get expert work like this for so little at some other place?
What other place?
R-E-S-P-E-C-T, that's what Speedy means to me.
I've been a doctor for 30 years. Maybe I was lucky, but nothing like this ever happened before.
Compensation for malpractice is simple justice.
It can happen once. That's why I bought insurance from your company.
Representing the victim, Nuremberg Plevin.
They deserve to be compensated. It would be inexcusable to fight them.
Nuremberg Plevin has represented over 50,000 personal injury victims.
And frankly, I'm on their side. I'm their doctor.
Attorneys at law since 1929.
Well, Ted, talk about feast to famine. We had a great first match. In the second match, our teams just can't get anything going.
It looks like this is a match of survival. It's not the one who wins, it's the one who survives. It's a 10-pin game through 6 frames, and
89-79 through 6. 136 is the lowest game we've ever had on 10-pin challenge.
this is one of those games of survival. Leaving a 1-2 8-pin. Chuck Stastny have to hit that head pin and make this spare. Somebody's got to break it and get them started in the right direction. They have to stop the bleeding.
So Chuck Stastny comes up looking for their first mark of the match. We're in the 7th frame.
There's a spare, getting a big applause from the crowd there. We say well-deserved, too.
And I'll tell you what, he handled that pretty darn well. I don't think there was a spare left after our first match, right? Maybe that's the reasoning. Bill Fiedler now on lane 38. I'll tell you what, they can't relax at all.
Oh, not at all. This game is still nobody's game, and a solid strike in the 1-2 pocket for Bill Fiedler.
He knew it as soon as he let it go.
He says it's about time when he comes back. We still have a 10-pin game through 7 frames.
8th frame, Pat Conaway now. Let's see if we can get 3 good shots in a row right here.
Pat Conaway started with a strike.
Nope.
Got a little wide of her target. She knew it as soon as she threw the ball.
So you're saying once it goes, it's really hard to get it back. And by when I say once it goes, that feeling, that confidence.
You can't imagine how fast this game is going for them. They don't know what's happening. Their heads are spinning out there. Strike ball here will make the spare.
Good shot.
Gets a break. Makes the spare, going away.
109 now through 7, starting to put some numbers up on the board here. Now the Stastnys. Here's Terry, 8th frame.
Terry Stastny going through the nose, leaving the 4-6-9-10. I'm sorry, the 4-7-9-10.
Well, whatever.
Whatever. This they've left quite a combination of splits out there today.
You know, it's been so exasperating, it's almost become comical here in our second match as to when you throw it, what the heck is going to happen?
Yeah, you wonder what they're going to leave. He can make this, though. He's got to slide that 4 into the 9-10.
It'd be great if he made this.
Wrong side.
Chopping off 2 on that left side as he picks up the 4-7. And the Stastnys are at 103 through 8.
Believe it or not, Jimmy, they're still in this match. This is the 9th frame, the foundation frame. Boy, they could certainly use a mark, if not a strike here. Oh, and leaving the washout again. This was left once before. Chuck Stastny already had 1 shot at this. We'll give him another shot, see if he can make it. This is sort of amazing. Ball has to go to the left of the head pin and have the head pin take out the 10.
But see, one of these shots is going to be made. I mean, someone's going to, the way these pins are going down, or the lack of them going down, someone's going to pull off a shot. And
he got it off the wall.
That's an amazing shot.
That wasn't the way it was supposed to be made, but it was made, and that's all that counts.
Let's watch that one again.
Yes.
An incredible shot.
Well, maybe that's what it needs. That keeps them in the match, believe it or not.
Yeah, we've really forgotten who actually is ahead in this one.
That keeps them still in the match. They are not shut out.
Pat Conaway up. This team is in the lead. And she avoids a split.
Pat Conaway almost gets a split going through the nose. Now, this is a tough spare for Bill Fiedler. It's on the left side of the lane. He's got to move right and make sure the ball doesn't go into channel or make sure it doesn't hook away to the left.
Fiedler and Conaway at 127 through 8. We're in the 9th frame. Second match of the day on 10-pin challenge. It has been a war.
There's an opening. See, they can't set down yet. This isn't over with.
The possibility of a high game for Conaway and Fiedler, the best they can do, 165. The Stastnys could roll a 153.
So they have to mark here and get good count. To force the Stastnys.
Which he can't get the ball in the pocket.
Pat Conaway's looking just perplexed out there. She has no idea what's going on, and she's lost.
A frightful match for when you're rolling in this one, because all of a sudden this thing could slip away from you.
This is a match of survival, without a doubt.
Now, Bill Fiedler trying to come up with this spare. They're in the 10th frame. He didn't get it.
Opened up. Opened up for 144 for Fiedler and Conway.
Now the Stastnys are at 153. That's the highest they could be at 153.
Fortunately for Conway, there are enough pins ahead to force Stastnys to throw a double. They must throw a double to win this match.
All right. Didn't get it. It's over.
Didn't get it. Leaving the baby split, the 3 and a 10 pin.
But definitely the shot of the day was the shot by this man coming up, Chuck Stastny, who pulled off an amazing shot.
He got a break off the sideboard and made the spare, which actually did keep him in the match for a while.
As we finish up here this afternoon on 10-Pin Challenge, we'll see you next week at 1 o'clock.
Oh, almost made it.
Got the 10. That's it. Pat Conaway and Bill Fiedler in a real struggle move on to the quarterfinals, knocking off Terry and Chuck Stastny 144 to 130.
What you want, baby, we got it.
My dad taught me everything I know about cars. He only got one thing wrong. He never told me to bring my car to Speedy for brakes.
I always went some other place.
These guys are real pros. I get quality parts and a lifetime guarantee for shoes and pads.
I always went some other place.
Dad, do you think you get expert work like this for so little at some other place?
What other place?
R-E-S-P-E-C-T, that's what Speedy means to me.
Chasing you, my lady luck. Won't you smile on me today? Yeah. Won't you lift me up? The finish line's a shout away. Hey, hey. The fastest game in town. Hear that thistle down. Chasing lady luck. Yeah.
This week, brand new Yugo GV Pluses with fuel injection for only $77 a month, only at GANLEY in Lakewood. Yes, brand new Yugo GV Pluses only at GANLEY in Lakewood. Your monthly payment? Only $77 a month. Maintenance? You name it, it's covered. For the first year or 12,000 miles, Yugo covers everything. Only gas is extra. Come to GANLEY in Lakewood this week for brand new Yugo GV Pluses for only $77 a month. Who has your Yugo for only $77 a month? GANLEY has it. GANLEY Yugo in Lakewood. 228-8000.
All bowlers appearing on 10-Pin Challenge receive prizes from Speedy Muffler King. Come to Speedy for mufflers, brakes, or shocks and get the respect you deserve.
Welcome back to 10-Pin Challenge, everybody. A great day of bowling here. Our first match was superb. I think the best match we've ever had on 10-Pin Challenge. And our congratulations to the Inghams. And the Rochecks were just great champions.
That's exactly right, Jimmy. You can say one thing for sure. The matches today were very exciting.
Pat Conaway and Bill Fiedler, they survived their match, and they're on to the quarterfinal round 2. And Ted and I will see you next Saturday at 1 o'clock once again for more of the 10-Pin Challenge. So have a great weekend, everybody.